Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mero and I teach creative people how to sell their art online, and this is my first ever KDP video. Yes, I decided to start KDP finally after so many years that I've been hearing about it and looking into it. And when I asked you guys a few days ago what would be the first video you'd like to see from me on KDP, I was pleasantly surprised seeing that the majority of people want to know what I want to do with KDP or what my plan is. And I do believe that my plan for KDP is going to bum a lot of people out, since I do not plan on taking Creative FABRICA inserts for dots and doing a very bad quality notebook or deceiving people that this is a good way to make money fast. This video is going to be divided into 9 sections. Hopefully I will get them done fast. The first one is how I heard about KDP, my story that actually started in 2017. The second part, KDP low content books, what I think about them, what I think about the change to the platform of KDP and how does that apply to me. 3, will I be selling low content notebooks and my keyword research? 4, what will I be selling if not that? 5, what tools will I be using? And I think that the majority of people just want to know if I'm going to use CANVA or Creative FABRICA elements. 6, how will I market my KDP books? 7, income reports about KDP. 8, my advice to people starting KDP as a person who is starting it herself, but has, I think, a little bit of experience in managing online businesses for the past 7 years. And 9, the future content about KDP in this channel, like what content I'm planning to do with KDP. And if at any point you feel like this information is useful to you, feel free to hit the like button down below or subscribe to my channel for more content about a variety of things within print on demand mostly, and now also KDP. So I first heard about KDP in 2017. I spent the end of 2016 in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I was doing all kinds of businesses. I was consulting Etsy sellers. I was doing blogging, good old-fashioned blogging. I was working with Fiverr a lot, honestly making a lot more money than people think you can make on Fiverr. And when I got back to Israel at the beginning of 2017, a friend from Chiang Mai contacted me about the latest thing that I have to do. It's called KDP. All I have to do was make lines or even blank pages and just design a cover on Canva, and I can make a whole lot of money. To that I said no. And she kept on insisting and insisting and insisting. It kind of felt like a cult. The way that people were talking about KDP back in 2017 definitely felt like a cult. Like, this will be the thing that transforms your life, you know, and this is going to be amazing. It's not a lot of work and you can travel. It's going to fix all of your financial problems. And given my emotional state at the time, relapsing with my PTSD, suffering from what doctors believe was sort of brain trauma from wrong medications, I was just like, leave me alone. And back then, I think also KDP was not really an option for me because Amazon was not processing payments to Israel, and I didn't have bank account in any other country. I didn't know if it's something that is easy. I didn't even want to deal with it. Fast forwarding 5 years after, which is now, I do hear a lot of people talking about KDP within certain environments and groups, talking about publishing their books. I do know digital nomads who travel the world making money from actual books, novels that they write. They are actual Amazon best-selling authors in their niches, one of which I know does basically teenage sort of drama, action, and fiction books for teenagers from the LGBTQ community. So a lot of them are actually doing something productive to the world and actually giving content, as well as some coloring book artists who are making genuine money from creating a coloring community around themselves. And I feel like there has been such a hype about KDP because when I was looking into this, first of all, the idea of selling a notebook always seemed dumb to me. And I don't mean disrespect to other people. To me, it just seems useless because I can go to a store and get a simple notebook. And also Amazon offers actual nice notebooks with leather binds and, you know, cardboard recycled stuff, not just from KDP. And I was always listening to KDP authors as authors or illustrators and artists. And when I was looking into KDP, I opened my KDP account last month. I finally figured out all my banking needs. Now I have banks in like 3 countries, which is nice. And when I was looking into that, I found this flood of information about YouTube that basically is the same information. People are talking about niches on KDP, but they're actually talking about making a cover, like it's a niche that belongs to a cover, or making something as basic as logbooks. And that felt kind of absurd to me. And for me, this feels like there is pretty much almost no information that I can get on the things that I actually want to do with KDP. And there is a lot of misinformation about KDP, as well as obviously about print on demand. But I did find that with KDP, it's like this huge, huge rise of misinformation online. That is absolutely ridiculous. Let's first start with, what is low content notebooks or books. So it's basically books that have no content. So notebooks with interiors that are pretty much dots or lines or graph or just blank, with people designing the cover of the notebook to target a certain audience. Low content notebooks can also be, simple logbooks where people log in a time or a date of doing something to keep track that don't actually contain information. And if we're looking at the Amazon definition of low and no content books, it's basically books that the interior pages are not so different from each other within that notebook. And I do remember finding this article. It was last year, and I found it again today on Medium, published by Alexa VS. The 3 simple steps to publish your first low content book in just 4 hours. I remember looking at this title and I was like, what do you mean 4 hours? Low content books take you 20 minutes to do? What do you mean 4 hours? But okay. And there is a link to the article down below, by the way, if you want to read it as well. And she was explaining what are low content books. And she was like, the best of all, low content books are great at generating passive income because you can produce them in less than a day. Yeah, I can produce 20 in a day. You don't need a website or an email list. Of course, you also don't need a website to sell on TeePublic, but having a website will get you more sales, but fine. You don't need any complicated software. You don't need to write. You don't need to invest any money up front. You don't need paid advertisement, and you don't need any inventory because KDP will manage everything. It sounds so beautiful and glowing. In fact, multiple platforms do that. She was obviously quoting some stuff from Rachel Harrison's Son, because she makes 5 figures every month with low content book sales. I wonder how she's doing now. And then she started talking about the fact that she didn't like doing keyword research. She had 0 talent for design or illustration, so her covers took a long time to make and usually looked mediocre at best. So don't publish them or study illustration. And that article was like how to create and publish your first low content book in 4 hours. 1 hour is niche research. Okay, I am a huge geek of doing research on like Google and stuff. I don't spend 1 hour doing research for one niche. That's ridiculous. 2 hours for creating the books by designing the inner template and the cover, and 1 hour to publish it on Amazon. And that article drove me nuts because she was talking about things like she would make a journal for kitten lovers, like kitten lined journal, little cat journal, and stuff like that. And that just felt the opposite to me of becoming an Amazon author. Fast forwarding to today, because I read this article about a year ago, people are hyping up on YouTube about making money from these low content books, and it's actually insane. And when I mentioned a month ago that I will be starting KDP, a lot of people told me to watch Paul Marl's channel. Paul Marlis, I don't know how to say his name. So a lot of people told me to watch his channel, and I watched it and I found great value in it. At least I thought. And I feel like I watched one of his videos and he was explaining, the bleed that you need to do, or, if you want to design a 6x9 inch book, then actually the cover and the interior are going to have slightly different measurements, which could get your book rejected if you only do 6x9, which felt like a good advice to me. Obviously, It's the first thing I'm going to need. Those are the sizes. And he's very charismatic, and he was talking about making a book, making a cover. And there's an interior that he's going to get from FABRICA. And I was like, okay. The notebook design cover of the video that I saw was horrifying, but he was very charismatic, and I think I kind of kept him on at the back end. I think that for a few days I pretty much binge watched like 20 of his videos without even realizing. And then someone in the group, I think it was Vanessa, I'm not really sure, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot right now, I apologize in advance, told me to watch The Sleepy Pilgrim on YouTube. Shout out, by the way, great channel. And only when I heard him talk about Paul Mars and also the Home Boss did I realize that all the videos I watched from both of them were pretty much the same video. And even if I go in now, for example, as a person who likes making coloring pages, and type in how to sell coloring books on KDP, all I get are these people telling me to make a book using Canva by taking elements from FABRICA. It's like there is no actual information for actual people who want to do art. And it drove me nuts. And I went back to look at some of his videos, and some of the advices that he was giving were ridiculous, as well as the money element of it all. Because if you're saying you made $60,000 a year, which is a nice amount, I'm not saying it's not, from selling something different than what you're telling your viewers to do, because that's better, how come you make a video of make $100,000 a year selling something you tell your viewers you don't sell yourself because it's not good enough? And I was looking at this, and then came the big hype of the change with KDP platform currently not giving ISBN numbers to low and no content books. You literally have to mark that this is a no or low content book on the Amazon platform when you upload the book. And oh my God, all of the KDP gurus were just saying, oh my God, this is insane. They're killing KDP. First of all, Amazon can do whatever they want. It's their platform. And second of all, how are they killing direct publishing when they're making people just say, hey, this is a book without content. This is for book publishing, not for mass creating the same exact blank journal or a logbook that doesn't help anyone. And just to show you something that really, really pissed me off, I was looking into this book journal. Log your favorite books. So the cover looks like this. Obviously, not anything that I would design ever. In my life will I be caught dead designing something that is so poorly designed, because this is a book journal that is basically containing, I don't know, woodland animals in a Christmas theme in the wrong Christmas colors with nothing aligned. And then you have a place to, I don't know, write your, I don't know what this is. And then book title, author, nationality of the author, genre, year, pages. Memorable quotes from page numbers, characters, plot summary. It kind of feels like you're preparing yourself for a book report, and then the rating for it. The whole font looks really off. There is some, I don't know, some random icon over there. And then a page for your notes, I'm guessing on that book, with a random element in the bottom corner that is not aligned properly, and a dragon icon. But don't worry, it's not really repetitive, because on the next page, like on the next book, there's a different dragon icon. And that one was a complete laughable thing. Not to mention people who do sketchbooks. Just a girl who loves anime sketchbook. And if I look into the actual sketchbook, it's just blank pages with, I don't know, a ribbon up top. And I do have to say that this feels kind of misleading, since the fact that, you know, a sketchbook is something where you would sketch. It's not a drawing book. Sketchbook, to the majority of people in the world, actually means a book with better paper for sketching, which is not something you can get with Amazon KDP. Not to mention all of the books from my niche, for example, my PTSD logbook, which is the worst CANVA cover design I have seen in my life. Great gift to help with the PTSD. And speaking as someone with PTSD, if I'm looking at the interior, date, location, energy, activity, sleep, daily goals, negative events like triggers or symptoms. Come on, you could have taken it from anywhere. mood tracker all through the day, and then a bunch of cups. I think someone took like a daily planner for weight loss and try to convert it into PTSD. There is no actual information about dealing with PTSD, how you're supposed to do anything with this book. And then finally, Amazon said, you know what? This is not acceptable anymore. You're not going to get an ISBN number. And the entire gurus of KDP were raging about this, including their followers, who I don't really believe any of their followers who do these kind of books even know what an ISBN number is, or what is it for, or what does it mean for them for selling a book. And for me, this just felt wrong. And people who are talking to you about becoming a published author by making these kind of books, I mean, ugh, come on. You're smarter than that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't mean to disrespect. I love notebooks. Notebooks are going to be a big part of my Zazzle experience. And I love notebooks from all platforms, but why would I spam Amazon with defrauding people? Because most of these notebooks are defrauding people. I seriously saw a video this morning of someone that shows how they go into Amazon's best-selling notebooks. It's a leather-bound notebook, designs a cover that looks exactly like this, and uploads it as a leather book to Amazon, even though it's paperback. And that was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I've also seen numerous amount of these low-content notebooks telling people that this is a chronic pain management journal, and then people react with 1-star reviews saying, this is a blank notebook. How is it supposed to help me manage my chronic pain? So no, I will not be selling books like that. I will not be deceiving people. And again, I don't mean disrespect to other people. I do know that for some people, this is a great solution. If you actually have a nice interior and a nicely designed cover, and you do 1 or 2 of these, and people are liking this, then go ahead. But if you think you're going to just flat out put something from CANVA, or flat out do some lines and then write on the cover, this is my journal for dealing with something, and actually sell that, that makes me angry as someone who has been defrauded so many times in big ways or small ways, dealing with chronic illnesses, dealing with mental illnesses, dealing with chronic pain, dealing with so much that, come on, I feel like so many people are taking advantages of this, and KDP YouTubers telling you to create medical logbooks? Are you insane? Are you insane? I just don't get it. I feel like the more I'm diving into KDP, the more humanity is making me feel really bad. Where is this going? And for people who are selling these notebooks, again, I'm not talking to people who defraud people with the wrong title, but people who are selling these notebooks, like a notebook for, I don't know, dog lovers that has dogs on the cover. Are those selling? Are you making money from that? By all means, if you made a nice design of a cover with a pretty dog for dog lovers, and inside is graph for, I don't know, someone who studies math and likes dogs and want to have a dog on the cover, then by all means, that seems nice. I hope that you will succeed. But is that really making you money? Because I'm seriously not gonna go on a YouTube channel that talks about how to make money for creative people by telling you a system that kills your creativity to not make you money. Does that make sense? First and foremost, I want to sell things that I would want to buy. I enjoy coloring pages. I've always enjoyed coloring pages. I enjoyed coloring books. Coloring pages, especially mandalas, are actually things that are well into a lot of group homes and private institutions for dealing with mental health issues. I remember when the health crisis in the world started in 2020, I was selling coloring pages on Etsy, and the first thing that I did when they started, because I really wanted to help, I was in Romania. I tried maybe, trying to help some of the elderly people in the building, but, they don't speak English, and I think I kind of freaked them out. And I knew some people who work in hospitals around Spain and in Israel, and I just sent them a bunch of my coloring pages for free to be printed by the hospital. It was right before Easter also, so a lot of Easter greeting cards. And I do know that from their feedback that the doctors were painting them on breaks, giving it to each other, that kids were painting them. I do know that this is something that helps people out. Coloring has also helped me with my personal therapy, whether it's just to take 1 hour out of your day to do nothing but color in a book, looking at colors, listening to music. It's very relaxing. And if I'm looking at Amazon KDP, the first thing that came to mind for me was, oh, that's super cool. I can stop selling printable coloring books and actually make physical coloring books. When I do this, if I do this, how I do this, I will first and foremost, before investing all my time in marketing it, order it for myself to see that it's actually good, because I know a lot of people on Amazon sell coloring books that you can't really color because the page is too thin, and they made the pages, basically the design, on every single side of the page, which is kind of a bummer to get a book like that. And I know because I've ordered coloring books on Amazon before. The second type of book that I want to make, and that is and isn't connected to those very dumb logbooks made by unprofessionals. So I am by no means a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm licensed with first aid. I also learned massage therapy, and I have done extensive mental and physical work on myself, including learning how to walk again twice, doing physical therapy for 7 different body parts in so many techniques in multiple countries. I have consulted psychiatrists, psychologists, people who practice any kind of therapy method for my PTSD, including rabbis, imams, priests, Buddhist monks, which is actually kind of an adventurous experience since they don't talk. But I have done all sorts of therapy for my PTSD, for my fibromyalgia, for breaking my spine multiple times, for living with chronic injuries that were healed wrong in my foot, in both of my knees, in both of my shoulders, dealing with brain damage that causes Tourette-like symptoms and extreme amount of pain, with seizures, memory blackouts, and a lot of stuff. And before I hear pity, stuff like that, if anyone is going to go like, oh, I didn't know you were dealing with stuff like that, I feel sorry for you, that comment is going to be deleted, because I have a zero pity policy. And that leads me to another criteria of books that I might publish, which is books that would have helped me. Books that document my process in dealing with these things that can actually help other people. And as someone who's been managing her fibromyalgia for the past decade, I can tell you that I found very little fibromyalgia logbooks or journal books to help you manage your fibromyalgia that actually make sense. They all seem like this copy paste of each other, or more like they're taking journal pages that were published by doctors and just copying them without actually providing the actual content that people need to read. A person with fibromyalgia who would spend day in and day out just describing every single day where does it hurt and how much does it hurt is not going to get anywhere in life. Anywhere, other than feeling extremely depressed every single day. And when I was looking into this, this just made me angry, because I know so many friends of mine who fell from wrong therapy, wrong self-help books. And I feel like something is so wrong with self-help books today, because when I remember self-help books from the 90s, self-help books would have been a book with 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of information, of medical studies, of messages from psychologists, of personal experience, leading to 1 page of filling it out. Because I definitely don't see any value in most of those notebooks that I see popping up online to help you manage your chronic pain without actually knowing what it is. You can literally harm people. So what I would want to do as my second idea for KDP, not just the coloring pages, which, by the way, coloring pages and coloring books were one of my best therapies, as I said. So what I want to do is make actual content books, either sharing my story, because, I don't need to be a psychologist of sharing my story. I don't need to have any degree in anything to know that it's going to help people that I tell them I was once hungry for food, having seizures daily, alone, and wanted to myself. And now I'm better. I'm more established. I found myself. I have spent years volunteering with veterans with PTSD, volunteering with women who have been through sexual assault, whether it's teaching them Krav Maga for self-defense, whether it's helping build up their security, or just being there saying, hey, I know how it feels. You can do it. And if I can do that, if I can leverage a platform like Amazon to actually spread something good in the world, that would be my goal. That's the second type of books or things that I would like to use KDP to publish. The third type of books would be books relating to what I wish I had when I was a child, and also things that I did have as a child. One of my best memories from my awful childhood was reading a book called, well, it was in Hebrew. It was called FABRICA Nationality, which means where was I before I was born? And that is a philosophy book for kids. It was one of my favorite books. I think I used it as a security blanket, as my blankie every now and then. And for me, writing books for kids about science, about space, about philosophy, about art, about famous biographies and stuff like that, that would be interesting for me. But I will be doing it my way. If I am taking on a project like making a book for space lovers, for kids, teaching kids about space, first and foremost, all the information is going to be accurate. Second, based on the age that this is designed for, there will be a certain type of writing, a certain language used to talk to a child, because a book about space for a 6-year-old is very different than a book about space for a 15-year-old. It's also different in terms of the size of the text, how much text is in a page, how long sentences are, as well as the illustration. I do and do not plan on hiring people for these books, and I'll explain. I am not going to make a book about space by hiring a writer and hiring an illustrator. I am going to be writing this book myself, and I'm going to illustrate the book myself. And if I feel like I cannot illustrate it enough, I'm going to take Skillshare classes on how to illustrate kids' books, because I do believe that my journey with Procreate and with illustration has come far enough for me to be able to illustrate kids' books. I mean, this is kind of cute, right? I illustrated them myself. I think I can do the job. And I will be hiring people to do proofreading, because for those of you who don't know, and this has come up in so many videos, English was my first actual spoken language on the day-to-day. So as much as I was born in Israel, I can definitely tell you that my English in a lot of ways is better than my Hebrew. I don't read much in Hebrew. It takes me a lot longer to process information in Hebrew, even though I did went to school there and graduated from a gifted class. But because I spent the majority of my grown-up years living in English, so it really downgraded my ability to process Hebrew in text. I have to remember to look from the other side. And to me, even though I'm coming from native English, even though I have written content for other people, I know it's not perfect. I mean, the majority of people I know from the United States and from the UK and from any English-speaking country don't speak flawless English, especially not when it comes to writing. So I will be hiring people to proofread my books and correct my books, because I do want to provide actual content. How much will it cost? And if I find someone that does it with good, cost, I will for sure let you know. But that sort of summarizes the 3 types of books that I want to make. And that is, again, coloring books that I illustrate myself, self-help content whether it's my personal stories. And if I do make one of those log journaling books, it's going to be a book that I made for myself, found useful in selling to others, as well as kids-related content about improving kids. Maybe even writing a book about entrepreneurship for kids or explaining the grown-up worlds for kids, anything for that, because that is something that I wish that I had more of when I grew up. So what tools will I be using? And I feel like a lot of people are going to go like, so you're going to use Canva. Yes and no. First of all, for creating my coloring books, I might use Canva for the text. I do like Canva's ability to just give out text and then edit that text on Procreate or Clip Studio Paint, which will be the two most, softwares that I'll be using for anything with KDP and using a lot these days as well. I find that the process of just adding text to Clip Studio Paint or Procreate is very annoying. So if I can just put in one single word or a sentence on Canva and download it as a PNG with transparent background to later edit it on my Procreate, that will be an amazing thing for me, and I will be using Canva for that. But the majority of the illustrations for a coloring book will be done with Procreate or with Clip Studio Paint. Depends, because I do find that I like some of the features of Clip Studio Paint, like mandala making. The mandala making, for example, process is very different between Clip Studio Paint and Procreate. I do like both, but I might separate those for a book. I might even use GoodNotes at some point, and I will probably be using Apple's Pages. Pages, for those of you who don't know, are Mac's Word, Microsoft Word, but on a Mac computer, like on an Apple. And you can actually use them to structure everything. Even when it comes to downloading interiors, if I make a small book, like a 6x9-inch book for Amazon KDP, I can download the PDF version of it, all the interior, using Procreate. I don't even need to pass it through Canva. But I might pass certain things through Canva or through Mac's Pages, so I will be able to upload them as PDF to, KDP. I also might be using Canva for the cover design, but again, that will be more like aligning my cover within Canva by using elements that I made myself with Clip Studio Paint and with Procreate. I will probably not be using anything from FABRICA, and if I will be using any type of graphics, it will probably be, a square to write something in it. Nothing more than that. I really want to do my own thing. I want to do something I'm going to be proud of. And it's not just that I want to do something that I want to be proud of or say, hey, I did it myself. I want to do something that is unique to me. I want to do something that people cannot just go to FABRICA and download the same coloring page interior and sell the same book. I want to do things that are mine, that are made. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mea Arroyo, and I like building WordPress websites. I like building websites of many kinds, and I do believe that the written word, a blog, Google SEO, and a good old-fashioned website are the best points for marketing. That and Pinterest. And that's probably how I'm going to market most of these books. If I'm going to lean into the coloring books, first of all, I'm going to start by ordering my own books and then coloring my own books, and then being active on that on some sort of social media before I think about expanding to a website, or having a website in advance to be able to put that website link within the book that people actually get to hold in their hand. That website could also include monthly freebies that people can just come and download for free, as well as printable versions of my books that, by the way, will make you more money than Amazon KDP. Because if you sell a coloring book on Amazon for $10, or you sell a printable coloring book for $6, you're going to make more money on the printable. I'm pretty sure of that. And then people can actually print it however they want. There is also the kids niche that I mentioned. And if I'm going to lean into the kids niche, I will probably be doing some YouTube videos. I might publish several books, order them, and make YouTube videos of me reading those books to kids. So that will sort of be a dual business. So people can buy the book and read to their kids themselves, or they can, put me reading that book to their kids. So that could be something rather interesting. And if, for example, I'm looking at a book that explains art or contains multiple biographies, then it will have multiple videos on YouTube talking about famous people, sharing biographies of, you know, Einstein for kids, or Van Gogh for kids, or all kinds of that. Even though Van Gogh for kids sounds kind of creepy. He did cut off his own ear. Eerie. For those of you who are watching this video just because of the KDP title and you don't know me, I did mention the fact that I am getting a new project working with my Zazzle store to get something into the bullet journaling niche. And when I said bullet journaling niche, I meant it as a phrase because bullet journal is actually a copyright sentence. I did get a domain about journaling, not bullet journaling, but journaling, and plan on launching that, selling things from Zazzle. If you do not know what Zazzle is, it's a print-on-demand platform that allows you to pretty much sell, I don't know, 1,500 different products. And there is a full Zazzle series in progress in this channel with 6 videos already down and more to go. And I will leave a link to the Zazzle series down below if that is something that is interesting to you guys. But what I planned on doing with my Zazzle planner stickers and journals and notebooks, because I do like designing notebooks for Zazzle, is to have a website that talks about journaling to improve yourself and your self-worth. And that will fully connect if I have any books on KDP on how journaling can help you love yourself, how to love yourself with PTSD, how to love yourself with chronic illness, and all that. So those will definitely be connected to an existing project that I am working on. I do need to sit down and do time management for all of this, which leads me to a small announcement. The formal one will be tomorrow, I guess, that I will be a little bit absent from this channel. This is my last video for the next 2 weeks. You guys will be seeing me back on the 27th of June, which is a day before my birthday. I do have a lot of things to get done before. I want to give you a bunch of freebies for my birthday on the 28th, and of course keep you updated with what kind of progress I've made with Print on Demand, with KDP. How do I see myself structuring my time between this channel, between another channel, between TeePublic and Zazzle and Society6 and Displate, and selling art of different kinds and doing KDP? I do need to sit down and face the reality that I am one person with only 24 hours a day and a lot of medical conditions, and I can't do everything. I need to prioritize, and more than that, I need a break. And I will be talking more about that tomorrow with an official announcement on the community tab as well as on our group. And of course, I'm active on the group, and I will also be using the time to answer YouTube comments. So I think I have like 700 to answer from the last few days. It's gonna kill me. I did mention that I also might be having an ASMR channel, and that could be something that will be related to promoting my coloring books, and more on that when I do that. Because everything that I do, I will let you know. So everybody likes income reports on Print on Demand, on KDP. You cannot survive as a YouTuber without showing how much money you make. And I find it to be very dumb, since if I make money from something, that doesn't mean that you're going to make money from it too. And I think the best example I had was in one of my videos, one of my first videos. I was talking about the majority of the money I made with Redbubble. My deceased store that I shut down. The majority of the money I made was from several designs, including a mahjong dress, and that one made me a few dozens a day at the beginning. That was like a very nice income. And I do remember someone commenting that I'm a liar because they copied my exact design. They're not making money. And I was like, okay, so flat out, thank you for letting me know you copied my design exactly. That's nice. Second of all, did you copy my marketing technique? So I do believe that even like looking at other people's income reports to get inspired, that could be nice, but you might not be seeing the full picture. So yes, obviously prefer people who actually tell you how much money they spent on ads, and did they spend on Amazon ads, which I do not plan on investing my money in, because, you know, I like my money. I don't want to just give it away to Amazon before I know that my book is actually good. I'm not going to spend any money on any platform before I actually learn how to sell on that platform myself. Money on a platform for ads should be used to leverage more sales, not starting sales. But I will be updating you guys on my progress. I will not be doing KDP income reports, I don't think, at least at this point. I mean, come on. I'm going to start KDP and what? Sell like that? Even if I want to do a coloring book, a good one in my standards will take me 6 days of doing just that. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to start. And hopefully I will start doing this break of mine, and I will keep you updated on my progress with KDP during the monthly goals video, because that's what it's for. I do want to say at that point, by the way, if you like this video or found this content useful, please hit the like button down below. It really does help my channel every time you do that, and subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. I don't know what can I tell you as an advice for KDP. Mostly because I'm far from being a KDP guru or a KDP expert. I am an expert, self-proclaimed, on starting a business, different business models, and helping other freelancers starting their business, which I have been doing for 5 years before I opened this YouTube channel. And I think that my advice to you, when you get any piece of information online, does that information make sense to you? Really? People who tell you that you can do $4,000 a day making rain videos on YouTube and it's popping everywhere. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense to you that someone is telling you, you need to design for this niche? This niche is not saturated. You will have no competition. But that video has 50,000 views. Doesn't that mean that this niche already has competition? I don't know. Do you really think that creating something where you have no design skills will get you any money? I've seen so many people follow YouTubers when it comes to print on demand saying, I'm not making any money on Redbubble. And you go into their store and you're like, this is not good design. This is not good product design. And don't believe people who tell you how easy it is. It shouldn't be easy to be an author. And please stop believing people who start a video with telling you to go and take an interior from Creative Fabrica, slapping on a cover, and you're now an author, a published author. No, you're not. You're someone who knows how to do copy paste. That's pretty much it. And if you want to do copy paste books and sell them on Amazon, that's fine. That's your right. Apparently it's legal, but just don't call yourself authors. And stop believing people. And thank you, Sleepy Pilgrim, for opening my eyes to this. Seriously, if you guys are doing KDP and you're following people like Paul Mars, like the Home Boss, like, I forgot whatever Rachel Susan, her name is, please go watch the Sleepy Pilgrim's YouTube channel and check out beneath all that sarcastic tone that I personally like. Try and see the fact that a lot of times when we fall into listening to someone, we sort of listen at the beginning and they give us value, and then they talk and they're charismatic and you believe them, but you don't really notice what they're saying. I mean, I only realized that I watched a video by Paul Mars telling people to go to gyms, convincing them to let you use their logo on an Amazon notebook cover to do a gym log so they will sell your book to their clients. And I watched that video and it didn't even enter my brain how dumb this sounds until someone else said, stop all horses. This is stupid. And I really do recommend the Sleepy Pilgrims channel for this. And if I find KDP gurus that I follow and I think are not telling us a load of, I will definitely post on that. I think that would be an interesting thing to do, because if I find someone who gives me value, whether it's on YouTube or on Skillshare, I will be sharing this with you guys. My advice to you is to do your own research on everything. And first and foremost, stop trying to sell things that you think other people like. What are you good at? Do you have any experience with something? Are you good at illustrating? Are you good at writing? Are you good at something? If you are, leverage that and make a book about it. If you're not, find a different thing to do for a living. There are so many things we could do for a living. Not everybody has to be on KDP. Not everybody has to do print on demand. And I keep getting this and it's annoying. How do I start print on demand and make money fast without any design skills? Why? Why do you want to make money from designing products if you have no design skills? Why don't you go and do something else with your life that you might be good at? And again, look into yourself, into your hobbies, and think, can my hobby be made into something, a book, a design, something that gives people value? Do I have literally something to give to the world? And then look at KDP. I mean, stop making just random trash. Stop listening to people who tell you things like, you know, a KDP book is basically a cover and an interior. Really? I didn't know that. Wow, that sounds fantastic. I thought a book is much more than a cover and an interior. And stop listening to people who tell you that selling on KDP is easier than selling on Merch by Amazon because you have to get accepted to Merch by Amazon, and designing a t-shirt for Merch by Amazon is the same thing as designing books for KDP. KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, is for people who want to publish a book. Because I don't think that the people who are going to be selling notebooks are going to be making much money from this anytime soon. I have seen multiple of these YouTube gurus starting to say stuff like, your Amazon account is in danger if they realize that you've basically used the same interior with different covers to sell the same thing over and over again, which is something that if you look 4 months before that, they advised you to do. Just stop. Stop listening to that. You have something to publish on KDP. You want to take this journey. You want to follow my journey. You want to let me know what you're selling, what you want to sell. That's awesome. And if you really just want to sell those blank notebooks using Canva and Creative Fabrica, you really don't need me for that. Or anyone on YouTube. So as I progress with my journey, I would like to give you guys content on KDP. I would like to make a video about people that can help you with your KDP. And when it comes to, for example, how to publish KDP coloring books or how to do coloring books, I would like to give tutorials on how I do my coloring books, as well as refer to actual YouTubers and Skillshare teachers who have content on how to publish an actual coloring book on Amazon KDP. I would like to talk about different ways to market KDP, and especially I think that the majority of the content that I will be producing about KDP for the remainder of 2022 will be my progress, sort of the things that I learn as I progress with KDP. And I hope that that will be interesting to you guys. I also would probably do some funny videos like books that really shouldn't be on KDP, or do some book ideas, or maybe even a video on trying to open your mind on how to leverage something that you actually know how to do into a KDP book, and not just make random stuff that other people are doing. Obviously, I will make like a video about the sizes or grids that you're going to need to use after I will investigate all of this and look into all of this. I do know that there is a lot of value by showing you a process of uploading to someone who's never seen it before, and I would love to do that. I would also love to know if you guys have any ideas for KDP content. If there is anything that you want me to post, please let me know in the comment section down below. And I feel like this has been an insanely long video. And to be honest, I am so tired. The video yesterday was supposed to be the day before that, but I was not feeling well. I am dealing with a lot of things, as you might have understood from the content that I want to write about. And I do need a break. So it was insanely fun yesterday, spending 509 euros on buying from your stores. It's been amazing. And if you haven't seen that video, I recommend that you do. But with that being said, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found any value in this. And I do know that I'm going to miss you all so much, because I'll see you guys on the 27th of June in my next video. Have an amazing 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see you when I get back with all the things I did on my break, and I don't know, chatting with you guys again, because I know that I'll miss you. Till then, bye!